Hey class, the ecosystem that I decided to look into was Central Park. It all started, a little background about Central Park. It all started in 1858. It's 843 acres, which is about 2.5 miles long. There's no real personal reason of why I chose Central Park. I just find all the different types of ecosystems within Central Park and all the different species that are working together in tandem to make everything run smoothly really is very interesting to me. A few different ecosystems that Central Park has is woodlands, meadows. They have some woodlands, ponds, and lakes, which caters to a variety of different species, ranging from birds, reptiles, amphibians, and mammals. The direction that the park goes into, they're constantly striving to go green. 90% of their vehicles that they use at the park are electric vehicles, and they're always looking into advancing technologies into being green. They do a lot of recycling also at the park, and like recycling education. Some of the challenges, personally for me, I faced during this so far is the lack of resources. A lot of the resources that I find are just from like the Central Park Conservation Group. So I'm really just trying to dive deep and getting more information. Some of the challenges for the park, however, are people feeding the wildlife. It's causing malnutrition within the birds, specifically like ducks, because people are feeding them things like breads and crackers. And also, that creates pollution in that water, and it's creating an off balance of bacteria growth within the waters. Another challenge for the park is the invasive species versus the native species. It is said that 45% of the plants there are native, and 54% of the plants are non-native, which is really just showing that the non-native invasive species is really just taking over Central Park, which is that they're smothering the native plants and the native species, which is kind of pushing them out. And it's also adjusting the soil composition and chemistry of the soil. Some of the connections I've made throughout this course and the Central Park is there's over 18,000 trees, American elms, and they're there to filter out air and absorb carbon dioxide, which goes hand in hand with the ecosystem productivity and carbon flow. Central Park also has over 393 different plant species. And it's also said that the higher the diversity within the system, the higher the carbon storage, which also New York City really needs. Well, there's a little bit about Central Park. Tell me what you think.